Welcome inside the locker room on a Wednesday morning. Smooth 98.1 Love Music, Love Life. You're listening to the Smooth Breakfast. Ayokunmi here. And we're looking forward to a great show as always. A lot of things to talk about from football to tennis to basketball. You name it, we've got it. An interactive session is on the cards. You know how it always is. But of course, I never am in the studio alone when the locker room rolls into town because the one and only Tega Supreme is in with me this morning. Tega, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Sounds like it's raining somewhere in Lagos. That's not gotten here yet.
We should not rain here yet, Sha.
It shouldn't rain here
Eh,
at
eh.
all. Shouldn't even rain this week anymore. All right. One of the reasons, the Ladies in Sports International Summit is tomorrow.
That's right.
Yes, so that's day one for tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is school sports and grassroots sports development. So if you have a ward, if you're a student in sports and you want to know how you can get access to scholarships, tomorrow is your day.
Yes, indeed.
Also, the Nigerian Cricket Federation is going to be there. The captain of the under 19 team that went to the World Cup and did fantastic things. She's coming with one of the bowlers on that team. So we'll be
Nice.
talking to them. So yes, if you want to see World Cup attendees from the Nigerian Cricket Federation, tomorrow is the day you have to come for the event. So tomorrow is school sports, grassroots sports development. We'll be talking about them and we'll be focusing on education. It's also Jersey Day.
Aha.
That's not the day you come in your suit. It's Jersey Day. Friday is the traditional corporate. So that's when you come with your Ankara jacket.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if I don't have an Ankara jacket?
You wear your other traditional attire.
Okay. Agbada, where are you?
You can do what you want.
Eh,
I'm just saying your Ankara jacket because some people have bought and they don't have an occasion to wear it to. You wear it on Friday to the Ladies in Sports International Summit. So, fantastic time we're going to have there, and that's one of the biggest deals that are happening this week.
mm.
And yes, I said it with my full chest. One of the biggest deals in sports this week,
If not the biggest deal.
if not the biggest deal. Yeah, the Ladies in Sports International Summit taking place on the 12th and 13th of June at the Balmoral Event Hall, Oregon from 10 a.m. So just tick your calendars. Tomorrow is a public holiday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you don't have any excuse. Friday is a feel good Friday. You can tell your boss to come along. All right. So
I agree with you on that
yeah.
one.
So 2 days of fantastic discussion on women's sports and also an opportunity to talk to a lot of women athletes that have represented Nigeria, on the global scale. It's at the Ladies in Sports International Summit. So that's what's happening there. Then we also go from there to the NBA because
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow is
Mm-hmm.
game three. And to that game three, that is the most important game of both teams' lives. Okay, we'll touch on that in our stories this morning. We'll also go to South America where they were playing the World Cup qualifiers and Argentina drew their match. But Carlo Ancelotti, ooh,
Starting
what
with a
did
bang.
okay, yeah, the dance samba. The Italian man came and danced a little samba. We'll talk about that on the show today. And also, yes, while some of us were playing Russia, our mates were playing against our colonial
Are
masters,
they our mates?
and they beat them like thief.
But are they our mates?
But they are our mates. In
How?
fact, we even senior them because we are the giants of Africa. Yes. You
Gi-
want to drag it with me?
You're the Giants of
We are
Africa.
the giants of Africa. They should bring their medals and put on the table. Let's bring our own.
Okay, I will not argue
We are
that
not
one.
their mates.
Oh, all right.
Our jollof is even better.
Don't be
What's
angry.
that?
I'm sorry. Don't be angry.
I'm angry already. In fact, I'm leaving the studio for that thing you said. What
Ah,
are you saying?
okay.
But I'll be here. I'll leave the studio at the end of the show. I won't leave now. We'll talk about that when we come back. Before we do any talking, Ayokunmi, tell us how can we be a part of the locker room this morning?
I thought you would never ask, Tega. You can join us this morning in the locker room by sharing your messages with us on WhatsApp. That is one way to do it. 0809 444 0981. You can also join us on YouTube and get your front row seat to all the amazing action in the studio.
Yep.
Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. I see Uchenna Okoye has already planted himself firmly in the front row seats. Uchenna, you're welcome to the show. All right, let's step into the NBA. We're heading to America, where Shea Gildas Alexander scored 34 points as the OKC, the Oklahoma City Thunder, beat the Indiana Pacers 123 to 107 in Game 2 of the NBA Finals to level the series at 1-1.
Yes. What the Pacers fans will be happy about is that they went to OKC and got a split.
Mm.
That's the important thing because OKC, as the number one ranked team, had home court advantage, and so what Pacers went there to do was to steal some advantage. But they will never recover from that game. So that, you know how Pacers will come into a game and do, we have bounce back ability. They want to do like all those, that car that you can, that has good second hand value.
Right, right,
I will
right.
not mention it because they didn't pay for advert. But they come back, they pride themselves on being the comeback kings, and they've done it, team after team. But okay, Thunder was like, affliction shall not rise again the second time. You cannot try that again. And so when the game started, OKC, as usual, they brought the energy, which is what they did in game one. So uh, first quarter, they dominated, they led. Second quarter, they dominated, the lead. But what the Pacers was doing is what they always do. They pace themselves, and so they didn't let the Thunders go too far. So it was a 7 point gap or maybe a 9 point
Nothing too
gap.
outrageous.
Nothing. Let's just hang around the arena. So by the time they got to the fourth quarter, no, it was halfway through the third quarter that OKC was like, okay, this is where it started to fall apart for us in game one. Like I said, if you fool me once,
Shame
shame
on
on
me.
you. If you fool me twice,
Oh, shame on
shame
me.
on me.
Yes.
So,
I almost picked it up.
so they're like, you know what, we've seen this in game one. That third quarter, it was almost as if they were on Third Mainland Bridge at night. Nobody else was there.
Breezing.
They were breezing down. They put their foot on that accelerator and they did not let go. Pacers couldn't believe they couldn't keep up the pace.
Pacers couldn't keep up the pace. You should write that down.
They couldn't believe what was happening to them. Thunders just kept going, point after point, play after play, and defensively they were stunting every play or every comeback or every thought of an imagination of a comeback. They just shut it down. And so at some point they're even leading by 17 points. They're like, for here, you cannot come back again. We will bury you. No dead bone arising here. It was such a shutout. And so after game one, the Pacers had gotten a little greedy. They're like, let's go for game two. Because at first they were saying let's go for a split. But after they won game one, in the manner in which they won game one, Halliburton was talking to what's his name again? The guy from Cameroon. I can't remember his name now. But he was talking to him and he was like, you know what, let's go for game two. But the way they beat them in that game too, they're very humble. Halliburton was like, okay, I think we got carried away. I was like, you don't say. We got carried away. But the good news is we got a split. Now we have to go home and defend our home court. And that's what they really have to do, which is why game three is very important.
Right.
Because whoever wins game three kind of puts themselves ahead. And Pacers are at home. So what they want to do is win that first game in the final at home, just to lay down the template. It's not that if they win game three, they can't lose the series. But they just give themselves a psychological boost, a shot in the arm, and a scoreboard boost to have 2 games to 1 in the series, and that's what they're going to try to do tonight.
Indeed. Pacers trying to form comeback kings. I don't know. Your remontada could turn to Ramon Atumda eventually.
I'm telling you.
You gotta be careful. All right, let's step into the world of tennis, where Emma Raducanu had a comfortable straight sets win over Spain's Cristina Buxa. I hope I got that correctly. And was one of the 3 Britons to reach the second round of the WTA 500 tournament at Queen's Club on Tuesday, while Wimbledon champion Barbara Krejcikova crashed out.
I'm telling you, in straight sets. So
how?
In straight sets.
What happened?
So that's Krejcikova for you. Krejcikova doesn't have, middle moments. She's either very good or very bad. she doesn't have where she's there's no moderation where she is. And so this is the clay court season just ended, and the grass court season is one of the shortest. So I understand why players don't really kill themselves over it, because literally after Wimbledon, what's left? You pretty much get. And so there's a good hard court season at the start of the season. There's a long clay court season. Then it's as if almost as if they just the
A
forgotten
sprinkle of grass.
grass is just there, and then we go back to hard court. So I understand why some players don't really dedicate their time to it. So they come to these 500s and 250s to see if they can get ready for Wimbledon. But the way she was beaten, she couldn't get anything working. Her serves weren't working. Her movement was a little off. It was not a good defeat. But then again, she was head to head between her and Shramova was 1-1 and so she's now she's now one behind.
Okay.
So it was always a tricky opponent. But that was her. But the Brits were having the time of their life. First of all, it was Katie Bolter that came on. She was playing against Tomjanovic, Aya Tomjanovic, and it was the tough one. She took the first set in a tie break. They get to the second set, and Alia beat her 6-1.
Mm.
So it looked like Alia had the momentum, and then they get to the third set, and nobody could hold their serve. She broke Alia, Alia broke her back. She broke Alia, Alia broke her back. It was like it was the most frustrating
Give
of
and
sets.
take, give and take.
But at the end of the day, she was just able to hold her nerve in that last game and win. So Katie Bolter went first, and then Emma Raducanu came up, and I thought this was going to be a little more fun, but Emma Raducanu quickly blitzed through it, shut down every hope of my enjoying the tennis, beat the girl
I'm sorry about
smoothly,
that.
and moved on with her life. So it'll be interesting to see what happens today because Raducanu, I think, is facing Schneider. So let's see how that
Mm. I'm sure Emma had somewhere to be. She said, I need to get this done as soon as possible.
goes.
I
She was,
gotta move.
she's
Go.
at home, so she might as well visit all her
Sharp, sharp.
relatives.
All right, let's talk football. Let's switch to the world of football really quickly. Talking about women's football, let's see if we can get through this before we need to take our first break of the day. Jenny Hermoso was left out of Spain's squad for next month's Women's Euro 2025 on Tuesday with two-time Ballon d'Or winners Aitana Bonmati and Alexia Putellas set to be key players for the world champions.
If they left those two, I would have known why. If they left those two, they just leave the entire team. How can you leave Aitana Bonmati out of it? Putellas, you could say, okay, maybe her form, Putellas' form has been a little like my power supply, up and down.
Very epileptic.
Very, but Aitana Bonmati, every day of the week and twice on Sunday, she's on it. So she wasn't going to be left out. But Jenny Hermoso was the big news. And before people start jumping into conclusions, no, it wasn't the fatal kiss that got to her career.
That's what I was thinking.
Everybody's going to.
I
You
was
mean
thinking that.
after the World Cup scandal, you mean her career is also over? No, it wasn't the kiss. But she hasn't been the same since the incident.
Hmm.
So technically, the kiss touched her. She hasn't been the same. Her form hasn't been the same. Her performance hasn't been the same. I mean, imagine your national team coach saying you were talking to your club coach. Can you imagine the madness that your national team coach is so worried about your form that she picked up the phone and was calling your club coach saying, okay, really, what is going on with this girl's form? That's why she was dropped. She plays in Mexico. And so the coach was calling Mexico to find out why her player is not doing well.
That's deep.
That's deep. So it wasn't the kiss technique directly, but since that kiss incident, her form hasn't been the same. So yeah, it was a fatal case.
I don't think Jenny Emoso would love to listen to Sixpence None the Richer.
I'm telling you, nobody.
If you know, you know.
It's such a sad thing. It's such a sad thing. But yeah, she's not going to the Euros. She could find a way to bounce back. Get her mind back into the game and bounce back and maybe still make the team. She's out of the Euros, but she's not out of the Spanish national team plans. If you understand what I mean. But she just has to find a way back to form. But yeah, she's not going to the Euros.
Yeah, sad one for her.
And
but
she's not being victimized, so please.
Let's keep that in mind.
Let's keep that in mind.
Let's take our first break of the morning. And when we come back in, we'll be talking about the big one, England and Senegal. With Senegal, should I say, downing 3 of the 3 lions that England actually have. On the other side, Locker Room Smooth 98.1.
Ah, I am so cold.
Hey, is it that cold this morning?
Look, everything is wrong with me.
Nothing will be wrong with you.
In Jesus' name, amen.
I decree.
I'm just cold.
Sometimes it be like that.
I'm cold. I need sleep, and
I don't think I'm going to get any sleep
I need a car.
until the weekend. I don't think I'm going to get any sleep until the weekend.
Father, I receive the grace to get sleep. Ayo, and look, I've told them today. I said we'll arrange the hall today. We'll set up today. I'm going to go to bed tonight.
What time do you have access to the hall?
I don't even know.
Because
I think
that's
it's
that
by
will
3.
determine how much you can actually.
No, no, no. I'm not the. Am I the one knocking wood? I'm going to sleep.
Okay, well, yeah, oversee the work and all that.
Somebody is going to oversee the work. But me, I'm going to sleep. I've decided. I have decided.
Welcome back into the locker room on the hump of the week, Wednesday morning. Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life, love sports as well. We are in full flow talking about great sporting action. My name is Ayokunmi. Tega also in the studio. We are having a swell time. You also get to join us on this amazing ride. All you need to do is very simple stuff. Send us a message on WhatsApp or join us on YouTube. The WhatsApp number is 0809 444 0981 440 981 is the WhatsApp number. On YouTube, we're at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Join us there, and you can see Tega dancing some traditional or
to,
samba dance. I don't know
to
what it
keep
is,
herself awake,
but
please.
hey, YouTube, join us there and leave your comments as well. All right, let's get back into the groove and let's talk about England and Senegal. Yes, it wasn't three lions that showed up, three kittens showed up in that game yesterday. They slumped to a 3-1 home friendly defeat by Senegal to ramp up the scrutiny on boss Thomas Tuchel 1 year out from the World Cup. Tuchel is facing the heat already. Remember, they did not want him like that in the beginning, no.
I say he's under fire. You know, the person that they want to set on fire is now going to has now gone to take his bath with diesel. That's
So
what he's doing.
it's petrol.
Which one burns faster?
It's petrol. I think petrol.
Petrol burns faster. I thought it was diesel
I
that
think it's
burns
petrol.
faster.
Engineers, please
Let us know.
let us know.
Because that's not the purpose of our coming today. But whatever it is, whatever he bathes in, whatever accelerant he bathes in, he's bathing it. Um, First of all, you have to remember after the Andorra match, he threw his entire team
Under
under
the
the
bus,
bus.
yeah.
Those on the pitch, those on the bench, and those that were intending to come into the team. He said, "All of you, you have no ambition. You can't play." He put it on the players, and then the players even made it worse by saying, well, at least Harry Kane came out to say, we did not do well. We should have played better. We should have done this. We should have done that. So even when you know how the sports writers in the UK, when they want to get on the coach, they wanted to flog him. But when the players themselves are coming to admit, okay, true, our coach was right, it's our fault. There was not much they could do. However, this one against Senegal, cannot blame only the players. he he sits. He not turned up the when they want to set up food for an event, they will just put the empty pot first on those on lit stove. Now they've set the fire.
And the fire is high
And the
fire.
fire is high fire because it's about to be lunchtime. They're about to eat him. So because he gets into this game, you have to understand what's happening. The three lions were playing looked great. And I understood the lineup he chose because, like I said, it's a friendly. You are looking for the pieces that fit. And so he didn't choose a bad starting lineup. And they went ahead with the goal from Harry Kane. They had ample opportunity. I think that was what was upsetting because they had more opportunity to score goals, but sometimes they touch the ball a little too much. Sometimes their choices of which pass to make was questionable, but they had the opportunity. And then Senegal was like, the fuel we paid to come to UK is not cheap." It was first of all Sa that got the first goal, and I thought that goal was a bit too cheap. So something with the goalkeeper and all. I thought that goal was a little too cheap. But the second And then, most importantly, the third goal, because the third goal came after Jude Bellingham's goal was cancelled and ruled off as a handball incident.
Mm.
I didn't think it was a handball incident, but I guess because Colwell turned his hand towards the direction of the ball, even if his hand was on his body, the ball now hits the hand. And so it was given as handball, and not really a hand, the arm. And I didn't know where he was going to have to take his hand to.
Maybe cut it off.
Because it was right by
Perhaps.
his body. He just turned his body to attack.
I don't know
So
what else. What else
I
is
don't
supposed
know
to
what
actually
he
do.
should. My point is, I don't know
Really.
what he could have done about his arm. It was literally by his side, but they ruled it as offside, and so it went from a game that could have ended up 2-2 to Senegal getting the ball and having four players with only one England defender. At that point, you're going to have to blame the coach too. What manner of tactics are you playing that you have only one defender, you know, facing off three Senegalese attackers?
Mm.
And so a lot of problems with England. But what it is that it's almost Tuchel that they didn't want in the first place. It's not delivering the results. You know, if they don't want you and you're delivering results, you're playing beautiful football, you're getting the result, they'll be quiet. Even
Mm.
your haters can't hate.
Even at that, all their messages are in their drafts.
Yeah, yeah,
So they
but
draft too. It's
yeah,
waiting
but
there, but at
they
least
cannot hate.
they can't hit at that point.
But
Yeah.
now they are writing emails, articles, think pieces. They're even telling him how to do the job. And you forget that this guy has won medals at the highest level in
And the English
football.
media.
The English media is brutal.
Mm.
So it's a tough one for Thomas Tuchel, but he's not started out well.
Indeed, he has
He's
not.
not started out well. Think about it. He was in every match. Remember the Premier League? He was in every match. Sometimes he even traveled to other countries
Yeah.
to go and watch his players in other countries. You've been given this access, you've been given these resources, and then when it's time for you to deliver, they had a a miserly win
Against
against
Andorra.
Andorra of all people. Andorra, that who was the one that beat them just a few days ago by 4 goals to 1. So that's who you now drew against, and then you play against Teranga, and you now lost to an African team for the first time.
Well, record breaker.
For the first time. You're not cursed now. They are going to finish him this morning. I can't wait to see the newspapers. In fact, I saw one headline, one UK headline, when they said the lions tied up in knots. Was it the lion tied up in knots or Tuchel tied up in
It
knots?
wasn't.
One of the two.
It wasn't Lions that showed up with that one. That one I'm very very sure of.
Well, lions showed up, the Teranga lions. The other three lions, I don't know. They're probably the lions in Daniel's den.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Lions in Lion King or something. I don't even know at this point in time. But good one for the Teranga Lions of Senegal getting that very, very huge win. All right, let's keep the ball rolling in football territory. Let's talk about some transfer issues and Manchester City. They've signed attacking midfielder Ryan Cherki from Olympic Lyon on a 5-year contract ahead of this month's Club World Cup, the club said on Tuesday.
They had one bad season and they've signed everybody and their neighbor.
Yep.
Didn't they just sign Ait Nori a few days
Yeah,
ago?
yeah.
Now they signed Sheki. I'm telling you, the locker room that Manchester City have may be a completely different team when they come on the pitch. They just one bad season.
Tega, as you said earlier, affliction must not rise a second time now.
Okay, so
As you
this is
said.
to avoid the second time
Eh,
affliction.
eh.
Because they've signed everybody. And they're not even, other people are negotiating. Even Chelsea that was negotiating the other day, I heard they've pulled out of the
Mike Magnon deal.
the Magnon deal. Yes, I've heard they've pulled out of the Magnon deal. I've also heard that even the meetings that they wanted to, was it meetings or meetings from Borussia Dortmund?
Gittins.
Gittins, sorry, that they wanted to sign, they are hesitant because of 3 million. 3 million is what is doing them. They've already paid the 42.
Yeah, but it's money now.
So 3 million is what's left.
It's easy.
I like the place that Chelsea fans are in right now, because I remember when Abramovich was there giving them pocket money every 2 market days. Now, now, Now you can see Chelsea fans even on social media. They are negotiating terms on social media. I'm like, guys, you guys should calm down. You should be counting pennies like this
You
now.
know when back then you ask your parents for money and then you have to do a whole
Yes,
presentation.
a whole
I want to
presentation.
do money for this. I want to buy this and so on.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because 3 million is all that is hanging that deal. They want to pay. The club wants Borussia wants 45, I think, and then Chelsea wants to pay 42. It's 3 million that's holding up the deal. You've brought the 42, might as well bring the 3 million. So other clubs are hanging and negotiating and pulling out of deals and all of that. And Manchester City is like, yeah, we're good to go.
We don't have time for all
We
that.
don't have time for all that. No, no long thing. So yes, yet another player. I'm just waiting to see how many more players they will sign. I think they're good in the striking department with Erling Haaland and Mamouche. I think they're pretty much okay. But I want to see what they do on the wings and what they
Mm,
do defensively. I haven't really seen a defensive sign that will be like, that's a good replacement for Walker or something. I haven't seen that. I want to see that.
well, we'll see how many more players will walk into that Man City dressing room as we prepare for a new season. Let's talk about Italy. Luciano Spalletti took charge of Italy one last time on Monday, and while his side sent him off with a win, the sack manager accepted that he isn't leaving the team in a great place for his replacement and has failed to improve them. Is that my fault? That hasn't that's supposed to improve. Is that my fault?
He's saying it's partly his fault
Okay.
that he wasn't the best man for them, that his job was to come in and try to improve the team. But the team hasn't improved. Even the win that they got, they dominated possession. At some point in time, I thought they were going to completely walk over, but they didn't. It was still sprinkling of goals as opposed to finishing off chances
Mm,
and being defensively solid. There was chance after chance for them to concede. And again, I think that's how it was the quality of opposition
right.
that actually let them get away with this win in the World Cup qualifying. So I understand what he is saying, that they are not in a good spot. I don't think it's entirely his fault alone. Because when you look at the Italian Serie A and you look at the Italians that are playing in the Serie A, how many can you say, oh, this is the Italian team is eating good? You can't really say that. I saw Raspadori's goal in this match. It was beautiful, but before he got into that position, if you were playing against a team that was better defensively, he's not getting that chance
Mm.
to get a second rebound. They will clear him. The thought of him get do you understand what I mean? So
Yeah.
the quality of opposition helps them to get a win. So they are not in a good place. And
Mm.
it's not only his fault entirely,
Yeah.
it's also the players that are coming through their development system.
That is very true.
So
I mean, since Euro 2020, since Euro 2020, Italy
they've not been the
have
same.
not been the
They've
same.
not even produced the same kind of players. So
Mm.
it's something that they need to work on. I'm sure that's why when they gave the coach from Roma,
Uh,
Tinkerman,
um,
Ranieri.
Ranieri,
When
Claudio
they gave
Ranieri.
Tinkerman the job, he said, "No, I don't want.
I'm not doing. I will
I,
stay
I,
here.
I'm retired. I want to be an advisor in Roma. Just leave me." Yeah.
Quality of players also a problem that Brazil have had recently. You could say. I mean, looking at the generation before and this new generation, not exactly, but at least Ancelotti started with a win
Yes,
in this one.
Ancelotti, his first game back in Brazil, and he was able to get the win against Paraguay. So, good match for them. The good news is that they did not only get the win, but Argentina drew 1-1 against Colombia. In fact, for the longest time, Argentina was trailing Colombia, and they were playing at home.
Mm.
Um, but they eventually managed to walk away with the draw. So Argentina drew, Brazil won, gap closes. So great one for Carlo Ancelotti
Yeah.
starting with the win. Let's
Yes,
see
indeed.
where he can take Brazil to
Mm.
for
Chile
here and
also
out.
lost, so third straight
So yeah.
World Cup that they're not going to.
Ah, God.
So yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, let's do your messages. Let me see. This is Emeka. Emeka says that jersey day Tega was talking about. I hope no one comes there wearing a Man United jersey, as that person will be seen as an unserious person. Lastly, with the game England played, it was incredible seeing English fans saying how much they missed Gareth Southgate. They should be calming down.
Exactly. Pick one. It's the same thing. It's like people in Nigeria saying they're missing the previous administration. I'm like, how? How is it so bad that you're missing another bad thing?
Stan says Pochettino and Tuchel just decollect from all cylinders. Some of these club coaches think coaching national teams is easy. Is Pochettino still the US coach?
Yes.
They were smacked by Switzerland
Yes,
4-0. I
yes.
was shocked.
And he, people were now asking him, are you going to go back to Spurs now that the opportunities open? He said no. I said, they don't even want you, honey.
Adenike Adile says, but really, do you think the UK boys have ambition? This is Tuchel. This is a Tuchel way. He doesn't mince his words. When they sack him, he can mince the words outside. Daria Akinshete says, Biko, how does Tega know so much about every sport in all caps? How does Tega have time to watch every sport and every day? Does she sleep at all? We need to know. I also need to know, Daria. I've been asking this question for a very long time. So yeah, technically asking you a question. Fred Adoki says, I'm really sad because serious clubs are signing players. Napoli just signed De Bruyne, and my old lady is looking. Well, they are old for a reason, so
exactly.
let me go to YouTube
Oh,
really quickly
YouTube,
here.
so many messages.
Can I scroll up? Okay, behave yourself. Uchenna Okoye says, players really need a rest. All these unnecessary friendlies that are not helping anyone.
True.
Players will suffer burnout next season. Next stop is the Club World Cup, a good chance for Arsenal's title push. There's that. Ibrahim Hassan says, so England were beaten. Rude awakening for Tuchel. This is John Mary says, Senegal killing 2 of the 3 Lions. Actually killed all 3.
He killed all 3. It was 3-1.
Tuchel will be verbally trashed by the English media. They have begun already. LK Aragba says, can someone explain why the transfer window is closing for 2-3 weeks? I'm confused.
Okay, so the transfer window opened a little earlier just to accommodate the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
So the main window is going to open June, later in the month or thereabouts. It's going to open. Kosikol says it's Maignan that was 4 million. Dortmund kept increasing their price to 65, and Chelsea were not going above 50. Put your money where your mouth is, really. Felix says Italy should try and adopt the English model of ensuring a good number of homegrown players are part of
I
the
was
club's
going to say that.
25-man team. It will help their national team.
True.
But they have a lot of Italian players playing in Italian teams.
Yes, but it's a quality. So when a better foreigner comes in, you sit on the bench.
Right. Ayafeda says, see the difference in quality between the European match between Netherlands and Malta and then Argentina versus Colombia that took place this morning.
Because Netherlands was 8-0. And then
it was 8 at the end of the game.
Yes, it was 8-0. Okay. They beat Malta 8-0.
I left it at 4.
Okay. And on that note, we want to thank you for sending in your messages to Smooth 98.1 FM. Thank you for streaming on YouTube. Thank you for sending your messages via WhatsApp. Let's say WhatsApp. WhatsApp. WhatsApp, please. It's WhatsApp. Till I come your way again on Friday.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, but I would like to see all of you on Thursday. All right, at the Balmoral Event Center in Oregon. So, but till I come your way again on Friday, when we have more breaking news. Hopefully, Chelsea would have stopped haggling players like crayfish and bought one. We'll be able to bring you that news. Till I come your way again, then have a fantastic day.
All right, so have a fantastic Wednesday. And get some rest. You definitely need it. Lagos, Nigeria, the entire world. Thank you for being a part of the locker room this morning. Keep it tuned to the Smooth Breakfast. 9 o'clock. Lagos Talks will be coming your way. Don't go anywhere.
I'm telling you, we have